We're going to interrupt our newscast right now because we're feeling some shaking right now. We believe that is an earthquake. We need to get confirmation from U.S. Geological Survey, but it feels like one.
Yeah, they are very quick generally with posting exactly the epicenter, so we would know how far away it is from Sacramento. But it's rare for us to feel in this region shaking of that magnitude. We generally, you know, usually they're centered either in the Sierra or the Bay Area, and we don't feel it as strongly here.
Preliminary numbers are coming in. We know how those can change, and I'm going to bring Dirk in on this in a second, but where the initial reading is a 5.5 magnitude, about 140 miles away. And Dirk, we know how these numbers can change once they get a better grip on what's going on.
Yeah, they can change, but this is out near Fallon, Nevada,
wow.
And so it's off out in that region. So I'm looking at, they're saying it's a 5.5, but I'm sure they're going to adjust that as they continue to look at it. But it right now is showing that its depth was about 9 kilometers, so that's a relatively deep earthquake, but we felt it pretty good. Sometimes when you get in a certain geologic strata, you can feel it. It went underneath the Sierra and here into the valley, and we really felt it here in the studio.
So what is it out there? Is there some kind of a zone where you have plates, or is it just
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I wish my daughter, who was a geologist, was here.
We're going to call her up.
Okay, we will look more into that. Again, that's a significant earthquake, and definitely people through a wide geographical area felt this one. So we'll look to get more information, and specifically, of course, any reports of damage.
I guess the best way to describe it for us is when we were in that news story there, it was just more of a front, backwards kind of shifty feel, not a rolling type feel. If you have video of what it looked like in your house, if you have cameras up and running and things are shaking, of course, we would love to have you send that to us here at KCRA, but we'll continue to monitor this and see if those numbers change.
For us, there's always that moment of wonder because we're very close to railroad tracks. So for our studio to shake a little bit is not unusual, but this definitely felt different, and yeah, it was no doubt an earthquake. So we'll continue to bring more information to you just as soon as we are able to get that secured.
And to that point, I mean, we didn't hear the noise of the Amtrak engines or the various freight trains, Burlington, Northern Burlington Pacific, I guess. We didn't hear that. We just felt the shaking. So yeah, it was kind of a forward-backward motion for about 6 or 7 beats, and then that was it. And sometimes we know, as Dirk, I hear you pounding away on your keyboard over there, these are followed by sometimes a smaller little type of quakes, but I'm not seeing that yet, and we haven't felt anything since then.
Yeah, in fact, when I first got on the USGS map, it hadn't registered. It took a little bit, and then it popped up. And so I think we're going to just start seeing more reports as we do get some aftershocks. But again, a 5.5, that's a decent-sized earthquake. And so anything else that comes from it could be similar, like a 5 and much less than that. You usually don't get bigger ones than the initial quake. But yeah, this is something to keep definitely an eye on as we go through the evening. And
you said that was 9 kilometers deep? So
that's what they originally were saying, but there was another earthquake to the south, much smaller. This is much smaller. This was farther south near Tonopah, and that one was a 2.8 that occurred, what's the timing? At 5:33, so pretty close. Well, when this one happened at 6, so about an hour or so.
So maybe or maybe not related, we just don't know.
Yeah.
And help me again with the deeper it is, the less we could feel it. I know there's like an inverse to, like, if the deeper the earthquake is, the less
you're going to feel it, I think. But it really depends on the rock, what the layer of rock is like. And so it depends on what the material that quake is going through and the connection it may have to certain areas. So you have the faults that are running, and as they shift, they can shift in all different kinds of ways. You can have them where they slide. You can have them where they come up over top of each other. So you have different ways that the faults can create an earthquake. And we're looking right here on the map where you can see now they're saying it's 5.7. Yep, they upgraded it. I can see that. And this is 20 kilometers east-southeast of Silver Springs is what they're saying. And so, yeah, it's just out there. There's, I'm sure, a lot of folks that were in the Reno area probably felt this. Carson City. Those are all spots. Fallon, Sparks. Those are spots that they're definitely, we're probably going to be able to feel that. But information is just coming in still right now. I'm looking at the different, interactive maps, regional information, things like that, and they're just now starting to, now they have it at the depth of 10 kilometers. So 5.7 magnitude, it's gone up, and the depth is at 10 kilometers.
And Sarah, our producer, is just giving us another number, I guess, a 3.6 aftershock.
And we do know that a ShakeAlert went out as well.
Okay.
At this point, I don't know if they gave people any kind of an advanced notification. I mean,
right.
The idea is even if you can have a couple of seconds, if you're in a situation like a surgery or a dental procedure where, you know, being able to just clear with a couple seconds warning can be enormously helpful. So we know that at least a ShakeAlert was sent out.
We're also getting reports into our newsroom, people calling us, and we appreciate you for calling us. Folks from Lincoln feeling it, also folks from Stockton feeling it, so that makes sense. I was trying to pull up to see what kind of, where that is, where you talked about Dirk, near Fallon, and there is the Central Nevada seismic zone, several faults capable of significant mag earthquakes, and anyway, so that may or may not be tied to this one.
Yeah, so I'm looking at a map here, and it's the one that you were making reference to, the ShakeAlert, and they have a map with concentric circles that come from or radiate from where the earthquake was. And so there's the initial area where you're not going to get much of an alert. You're going to feel it pretty much while it's happening, but you go out a little bit further out toward the South Lake Tahoe area, and you get a 10-second response, so you'll know 10 seconds ahead.
Yeah, 30 seconds for people in Sacramento.
20 seconds as you go, you know, further away, and so yeah, 30 seconds or more. So that's pretty handy to know.
Yeah,
30 seconds in advance whether or not an earthquake's coming.
Yeah, and you know, as earthquakes go, this one was pretty brief. I mean, some of them you can just kind of rock and roll for a significant amount of time. This just, you know, kind of just a few seconds, but enough to get your attention, certainly.
Yeah, and that's why we continue to cover this right now. Again, if you felt that and you have some cameras in your home that might have caught something interesting during the earthquake, we'd love to share that here on KCRA3.
Everything from the water splashing around a swimming pool, it's kind of common video we'll get after an earthquake, or lights moving, sometimes things being jostled off of shelves and falling onto the floor.
And we're getting another report of another aftershock starting to diminish. It's a 2.8 after, I guess, a what was that, 6 or 7? So, and obviously these magnitudes are exponential as you go from a 1 to a 2, 2 to 3, and so on and so forth. So that means obviously 1 is 10 times more.
Magnitude smaller.
Yes, so that's starting to diminish, but they are still registering.
We should also point out that after an earthquake of this size, the CHP routinely goes out along with Caltrans, and they will make sure that there's no structural issues. They have certain pressure points that they look at with bridges, certain roadways, so they will do inspections just to make sure that there was no major damage that could be a problem for motorists as well. So that would just be something very routine with a magnitude of this size.
And probably not a bad idea also just for you to do that around your house if you know you have something that maybe needs looking at, just something, maybe a deck connected to your home, or maybe a pool or some other equipment that you think might be sensitive, maybe something that's hooked up to gas, or something that's hooked up to another power source that you think might need to be looked at. Certainly power lines as such, maybe just a good idea just to get out there and check to make sure things are still connected the way they should be.
Absolutely. Our news director just brought us just an interesting set of observations from people who can report with the ShakeAlert. 866 people checked in, and of those, 728 did report they felt light shaking. 60 people said moderate shaking, and 5 people said they felt very strong shaking. 73 saying they didn't feel this at all. What you don't see in this report is where they live. So we don't know how close or how far they were from the epicenter, but just some interesting numbers there. 728 people saying that they did feel some light shaking.
One other number to throw out there, it looks like there have been now 5